Good morning. I hope all are happy and safe. In our last class, we started the module 5 Knowledge Resources on Net. We discussed what is encyclopedia, origin of the word encyclopedia, differences between encyclopedia and dictionary, then 4 major elements define an encyclopedia and types of an encyclopedia. Now we are going to start the next topic, libraries. I know library is one of your favorite places. What is library? We can give a definition. Library is a collection of sources, resources, services and structure in which it is focused. So through the library we will get the sources, resources and services. Definitely it has a structure. So library is a collection of sources, resources, services and the structure in which it is focused. It is used and maintained by public body, an institution or a private institution. Then we already knew it well. Libraries are used and maintained by the public, and also we can see that institutions and private institution also using libraries. In more traditional sense, a library is a collection of books. Libraries provide a place of silence for studying. So libraries, it is a collection of books. In library, we get a peaceful atmosphere to read and study seriously. Then definitely the role of librarians, it is very important in library. So now we are going to speak about the librarians. Libraries provide services of librarians who are experts of finding and organizing information and of interpreting information needs. So definitely an expert librarian, he can finding and organizing the information and interpreting it very easily. So these are the main points relating library. I think all of you understood. First of all, we discussed what is the definition of library. It is the collection of sources, resources, services and the structure in which it is focused. It is used and maintained by public body, institution and private institution. Then I told you it is a collection of books. Then library provide a place of silence for studying. Last point relating librarians. Libraries provide services of librarians who are experts of finding and organizing information and of interpreting information needs. Okay, then we are moving to next topic, types of libraries. Libraries divided into categories by several methods. First one is the entity that support. Entity means an institution. So based on the institution that supports, we can categorize it. So the entity that support, example, academic libraries, government libraries, private libraries, school libraries, then public libraries. Okay, then the next category, types of document they hold. Based on the document, we can make the divisions on libraries. So example, digital libraries, picture libraries, tool libraries. These libraries are example for the types of document they hold. Okay, then the third one, the subject matter of documents they hold. Example, architecture libraries, fine arts libraries, law libraries, medical libraries. So we discussed the libraries divided into categories by several methods. First one, the entity that supports, the institution that supports. Second one, based on the documents they hold. Then the third one, the subject matter of documents. So you don't forget to keep in your memory the example for each and every libraries. Okay. Then we are moving to the next division. Traditional professional divisions. In this case, libraries can be classified as first one academic libraries, then second one public libraries, third one research libraries, fourth one school libraries, and fifth one is special libraries. So we can speak about each libraries in detail. Okay, first one academic libraries. We knew it well. Academic libraries are located on the campuses of colleges and universities. So it serves primarily the students and the faculties of that and other academic institution. Then academic libraries, especially at public institutions, are accessible. Accessible means reachable to the members of the general public. I think all of you got the clear idea about academic libraries. Academic libraries are located on the campus of colleges and universities. So these libraries serve primarily the students and faculties in that and also the other institutions. Then academic libraries, especially at public institutions, are reachable to the members of general public. Okay. Then we can move to the next library, that it is public libraries or public lending libraries. From the word itself, you will get the idea about public libraries. These libraries provide service to the general public. We will get the service for general public. Then there is possibility to borrow some of their books and return it within a period of days or weeks. That is why it is also known as public lending libraries. We will get the opportunity to borrow the books from the library and we should return back within days or weeks. Then how it is possible? Through library cards we can borrow the books. By borrowing the book we should use the library card and we should take the membership in that particular library. Many public libraries provide free services and events to public, and many of the libraries actually they are providing the free services for the public. These are the points relating public libraries. Is it clear? Public libraries or public lending libraries. These libraries provide service to the general public. We will get the opportunity to borrow the books from the library and we will return back within days or week. We can use the library card for this purpose. Then many public libraries provide free services and events to public. Okay. Then the next library, that it is research libraries. These libraries are intended for supporting scholarly research. Actually these libraries, they are supporting scholarly research. That is why it is known as research libraries. These are most often academic libraries or national libraries. We can see that the facilities in academic libraries and also national libraries. A very few of the largest public libraries also serve as research libraries. In addition that the academic libraries and national libraries, we can see the largest public libraries also serve as research libraries. These are the points relating research libraries. So research libraries are intended for supporting scholarly research, and academic libraries and national libraries are most often research libraries. In addition, these academic and national libraries, some of the largest public libraries are also serve as research libraries. Okay. Then the next one, school libraries. I think all of you are very familiar with school libraries. Most public and private primary and secondary schools have libraries designed to support curriculum. So in school library, definitely they should arrange the books relating the curriculum. Okay, so the students and teachers can only take the books from school library. Then the last one is special libraries. All other libraries fall into this category. Then what it is special libraries? Branches of a large academic or research subjects dealing with particular subjects are also called special libraries. General libraries are distinguished from special collections, which are branches or parts of a library intended for rare books, manuscript and similar materials. These are the another speciality of special libraries. We can see the collection of rare books, manuscripts and similar materials in these special libraries. Okay, I think all of you understood. In the case of types of libraries, we categorized these libraries into two sections. One is based on the several methods. Those are, first one, the entity that supports, example, academic library, government library, private library, public libraries. Then second one, types of document they hold, example, digital libraries, picture libraries and tool libraries. Then the third one, the subject matter of documents they hold, example, architecture libraries, fine arts libraries, law libraries. Then the next division, traditional provisional divisions. Then first one is academic libraries. Those libraries we can see on the campus of colleges and institutions. Service provides for students and faculty in that and other institution. Then next one is public libraries or public lending libraries. Then it is for general public. Then they will get the chance to borrow the books from the library and they should give it back within the days and or week. Through the library card they can use these facilities, and even public libraries provide free services and events to public. Next one is research libraries. Research libraries are intended for supporting scholarly research. Academic libraries, national libraries and also the largest public libraries also serve as research libraries. Then the next library, it is school library. Then I told you most public and private primary and secondary schools have libraries designed to support school curriculum. Then finally we talked about the special libraries. Special libraries, branches of a large academic or research libraries dealing with particular subjects are called special libraries. Then through these special libraries we will get the collection of rare books, manuscript and similar materials. Okay, then we are going to next topic, that it is a shift from traditional to digital library. So we can see that at first we started the traditional libraries, then now we reached in the digital library. Then we are speaking about the shift from traditional to digital library. Then first one, the traditional closed access libraries are shifting towards open access library. Then the open access libraries are shifting towards automated library. Then automated to electronic, then electronic to digital. Finally end in digital library. So the steps I'm going to explain again. Traditional library to automatic library to electronic library, then electronic library to digital library. Okay, so we are going to discuss the topic in detail. Okay, the first one, traditional library. The traditional library, the collection of the traditional libraries is mostly print media, manuscript, etc. When we are speaking about the traditional libraries, we will get the collection of print media, manuscript, etc. in the traditional libraries. These libraries are not well organized. That it is the one of the disadvantages of traditional library. Libraries are not well organized. That means it is not well arranged systematically. Okay, the documents are deteriorating at rapid rate. Then we can see that it started to become worse. It is very difficult to preserve the books in libraries. Okay, in the case of traditional library, it is very difficult to conserve or preserve the books. Then the documents are deteriorating at rapid rate. Traditional libraries are confined itself within a physical boundary. So we can say that the next disadvantage of traditional library, it is limited, it is restricted itself with a physical boundary. These are the points relating traditional library. Okay, from the traditional library we will get the collection of print media, manuscript, etc. But it is not well organized, it is not well arranged. Then the documents are deteriorating at a rapid rate. That means it is very difficult to preserve the books. Then the another disadvantage, traditional libraries are confined. That means it already restricted itself within a physical boundary. Okay. Then we are moving to the next library, that it is automated library. Automated library, it means operated by automatic equipment. Then the points, first we can give the definition for automated library. A library with machine readable catalog, computerized acquisition, circulation and OPAC. OPAC it is online public access catalog, are called automated library. So automated library, simply say it is an operated by automatic equipment. Then it is the library with a machine readable catalog, computerized library circulation and online public access catalog. All these are called automated library. Then we are going to move the next one, that it is electronic library. Then we can see that traditional library, it is shifted to automated library. Then from automated library we shifted to electronic library. Okay. Then what it is? Electronic library. LAN. I think all of you are familiar with what it is LAN. LAN means local area network. LAN and CD-ROM networking is done. That is the speciality of electronic library. Okay. They are using LAN and CD-ROM networking is done. E-journal and other similar kind of publication, it is known as electronic library. You know what it is e-journal? An electronic journal is periodical publication which is published in electronic format format, usually on the internet. So LAN and CD-ROM network working is done in electronic library. E-journal and other similar kind of publication, it is known as electronic library. Electronic libraries are in both print and electronic form. Then electronic medias are used for storage, retrieval and delivery of information. These are the main points relating electronic library. Once again, I just remind you the shift. First we are starting the libraries as traditional libraries. We already identified there are so many disadvantages of traditional libraries. After that we shifted to automated library. Then so many things already improved in automated libraries. The main positive thing it happened, it started to operate by automatic equipments. Then we shifted to electronic library. LAN and CD-ROM networking is done in this electronic library. That is the positive thing happened in electronic library. Then e-journal and other similar kind of publication, it is known as electronic library. In the case of electronic libraries are in both print and electronic form. Then the another merit of the electronic library, electronic medias are used for storage, retrieval and delivery of information. Okay. Then we are moving to the next libraries, that it is digital libraries. It is the later stage of electronic library. Then here high speed optical fiber are used for LAN and WAN. WAN means WAN, WAN wide area network. Then digital library we started to use optical fiber. Okay, have you heard about optical fiber? Optical fiber refers to the medium and the technology associated with the transmission of information as light pulses along or plastic strand or fiber. So it provides a wide range of internet based services. Then once again we can go through the shift. First we started the traditional libraries, then automated libraries, then electronic libraries, then digital libraries. In the case of digital libraries, we started to use optical fiber for LAN and WAN. As the result, it provides a wide range of internet based services. Then we can see that digital library, it also shifted to hybrid library. Okay, that it is hybrid library. The libraries which are working both in electronic or digital and print environment are known as hybrid library. In the case of hybrid library, we will get it is possible we can working both in electronic, digital and also print environment. That it is called a hybrid library. It is transitional state between print and digital environment. Transitional means changing from one to another. Okay, so we can say that it is a transitional state between print and digital environment. It is estimated that in near future libraries will be of hybrid nature. We are expecting so. Okay, so once again we can discuss the points relating shift from traditional to digital. First, traditional library we already identified. There were a lot of disadvantages in the case of traditional library. Then we shifted to automated library. It is an operated by automatic equipment. From automated library we shifted to electronic library. We started to use LAN and CD-ROM networking. Then e-journal and other similar kind of publication is also possible through this electronic library. Then at this time also we used both print and electronic form. Then from the electronic library we shifted to digital library. In the case of digital library we used high speed of optical fiber for LAN and WAN. As the result we got a wide range of internet based services. Then from the digital library we are moving to hybrid library. Then it is working both in electronic, digital and print environment. Actually it is the transitional state between print and digital environment. We are hoping the nearest future libraries will be of hybrid nature. We are going to next topic, factors of change to digital libraries. Why we changed from the traditional library to digital libraries? We are going to discuss about the reasons. So, limited buying power of libraries, complex nature of recent documents, storage problems. These are the common factors. That is why we started to change from traditional libraries to digital libraries. The reasons, I repeat, limited buying power of libraries. Then it is very difficult to store the documents. The storage problems. These are the common factors. In addition that, we can see some other factors. First one, information explosion. Explosion means sudden and very fast increase. So we can see that information explosion. Then searching problem on traditional libraries. In the case of traditional libraries, it is very difficult to find out the source and resources from that library. So searching problem. Then third one is low cost of technology. In the case of digital library, we can use the technology by low cost. Then the fourth reason, environmental factor. Environmental factor means the digital libraries in the cleanest technologies to fulfill the slogan burn a CD-ROM, save a tree. So definitely environmental factor is also very important. Then last point is new generation needs. Even it is last, but it is very important one. New generation needs. These are the reasons we started to shift from traditional library to digital library. Okay. The points, the reasons: limiting buying power of libraries, complex nature of recent documents, storage problem. These are the common factors. Then information explosion, searching problem on traditional libraries, low cost of technology, environmental factor and new generation needs. These are the other problem factors. So totally we can see that at 8 points relating factors of change to digital libraries. All of you understood? Okay. Then we can move to the next topic, advantages of the digital library. I think you already got the idea about what are the advantages. You can easily collect the points. What are the advantages of a digital library? Because we already talked about in detail relating traditional libraries. Okay. So even the title is advantages of the digital library. It is also possible to add the points relating differences between traditional library and digital library. So we can start. First advantage, easily and rapidly accessing books. We can easily find out the books which we need. It is easy to find out in the case of digital library. Then the next point, the potential to store much more information, because digital information requires very little physical space. Through this we can understand there is no storage problem comparing to traditional library. It only needs a very little physical space. Then the third point, the cost of maintaining a digital library is much lower than that of a traditional library. So low cost. In the case of digital library, we need a low cost. In the case of a traditional library, must spend large sums of money paying for staff, book maintenance, rent and additional books. But in the case of digital libraries, may reduce these fees. So low cost is the next advantage. Then digital libraries may be more willing to adapt innovations in technology. We can easily accept the new changes in technology. That is the another advantage of a digital library. Then increase availability to individuals. That means traditional libraries have the problem on geographic location. But in the case of digital library, we can easily available it in our fingertips. Then no physical boundary. No physical boundary, no need to go to the library physically. There is no need to take any effort to go to library. People from all over the world can gain the same information as long as internet connection is available. So people from all over the world, they are using the same information with the connection of an internet. Then next point, round the clock availability. Digital libraries can be accessed at any time, 24 hours a day and 365 days of the hour. There is no time limit in the case of digital library. We can use the digital library at any time. The next point, the multiple access. Multiple access means the same resources can be used at the same time by a number of users. That is the specialty of digital library, multiple access. Many people can use these resources at a same time. The next point is structured approach. It provides access to much richer content in a more structured manner. That is the specialty. Through this approach, digital libraries can stock more content in a structured manner. Example, we can easily move from the catalog to the particular book, then to a particular chapter. We can easily find out all the chapters from a book. That is the specialty of this structured approach. The next point, information retrieved. The user is able to use any search term. We can use word, phrase, title, name or subject to search entire collection. It is not compulsory to use the particular title of the book. We can use any word, any title, name or subject, whatever it is. It is very user-friendly interfaces. So, by using a word or phrase, we can easily get the resources. The next point is preservation and conservation. An exact copy of the original can be made by any number of times without any degradation in quality. That is the another important point. There is no risk which we should face relating preservation and conservation. The next point is space. Digital libraries have the potential to store much more information to traditional library. So while we are making the comparison with the traditional library, I already told you digital libraries have the potential to store much more information, whereas traditional libraries are limited by storage space. Digital information requires very little physical space. Media storage technologies are more affordable than even before. So the next point, networking. It can provide the link to any other resources of other digital library very easily. That is the another important point. It can easily connect with the other libraries using the link. So they can share the information using these links. So that is the quality of networking. Then again I repeat, cost. The cost of maintaining a digital library is much lower than that of a traditional library. A traditional library must spend large sums of money paying for staff, books, maintenance, rent and additional books. Then the last point is added value. Characteristics of objects, primarily the quality of images, may be improved. There is no compromise in the case of images. We will get very clear pictures through digital libraries. Digitalization can enhance legibility and remove visible flaws such as stains and discoloration. So it can increase the quality of image using new technology. So I think all of you got the points relating advantages of a digital library. It is also possible to write the points relating differences between traditional library and digital library. Once again I repeat all the points. Easily and rapidly accessing books. Then the potential to store much more information than a traditional library. The cost of maintaining a digital library is much lower than that of a traditional library. Next point, digital libraries may be more willing to adopt innovations in technology. The next point, increase availability to individuals. No physical boundary. Then round the clock availability. We will get the information at any time. The next one, the multiple access. The same resources can be used at the same time by a number of users. The next one, structured approach. It has a very good structure. In that structure it includes much more content. Then information retrieval. By using a word, phrase or subject, we can easily collect the information. Next one, preservation and conservation. It is easy to preserve and conserve the documents. Then space. I told you digital libraries have the potential to store much more information than a traditional library. The networking. Through the links we can connect the libraries each other very easily. Then added value, in the case of added value I told you the quality of images may be improved. I think this is enough for today's class. We have two more topics also, disadvantages of the digital library and popular digital libraries. So we can discuss these two topics in the next class. So today in this class we already discussed what it is libraries, then libraries definition, then the major points relating library. After that we also discussed about the types of libraries. We noticed it in detail. Libraries already divided into two categories. First one relating the entity, types of documents, then the subject matter. Then we already divided the libraries based on traditional, provisional divisions. Then in that we already found 5 libraries: academic libraries, public libraries, research libraries, school libraries, and also special libraries. Then we found the reasons. We already understood how the shift happened from traditional library to digital library. In that we already discussed what it is traditional library, how it is shifted to automated library, then how the automated library shifted to electronic library, then from electronic library to digital library. Finally we also talked about how the digital library will be reached in hybrid library. Then we also discussed the factors of change to digital libraries. What are the reasons we started to think about a digital library? So we already found the reasons in detail. Then after that we talked the advantages of the digital library. We already discussed almost 10 or 12 points relating that. So I hope all of you understood all these points. You don't forget to read the textbook. Then we will continue the rest of the 2 topics relating library in next class. Till then, stay home, stay safe. Thank you. Happy learning.